Morning,
Good afternoon.
good evening.
Good day.
How's everybody doing today? And welcome back to Mike and Sham Unscripted.
Unscripted. Woo, woo.
So last week we had a pretty good conversation about the bads of relationship and the ups and downs that most people actually deal with, and we
I just
we
want to
tried
shout out
to
the engagement that we got on
yeah,
that.
we actually had a lot of questions. People actually interacting with us and had some interesting comments on there. Um, This week, like I said last week, we'll be talking about the goods and the benefits of being in a relationship or being married or being having somebody as a partner.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody is ready.
Ready to tune in. Shout out to my Spotify or our Spotify viewers or listeners.
I haven't even checked. How is it?
That's terrible.
Really?
I don't know. I haven't checked either. But if you're listening from Spotify, you can also comment from Spotify. And you can also follow the podcast on Spotify, just in case you didn't know.
Yep.
So follow the podcast, leave us comments so we can grow that audience as well
Yeah.
as Apple and all the things. We know not everybody can watch all the time. So
Yep. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you
yeah,
subscribe.
what are
Like
you
the
waiting
video.
on?
Like the video. It's not that hard. Just like it. I
It's
promise you.
free.com.
I promise you that I'm pretty sure you liking our videos doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get more of our type of video. You'll probably get more of our videos in the future.
More in
So,
the same.
just help us out. Help you. You know what I
Help
mean?
me help you.
So, yeah. So this week we'll be talking about the goods in relationship, and a lot of people think that being in a relationship or being married will be like their space being taken away. But realistically, I think that overall it's more or less of having that type of security of having somebody next to you. So one of the benefits that I would think is just like to being able to grow together as a partner with each other. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you choose to go in a relationship, the number one thing, well, there's different type of relationships, first of all. But to me, when you're choosing like a partner, you're just choosing someone to go through life with. So many things can be easier, should be easier when you have someone that you're going through it with instead of doing it all on your own
Yep.
all the time. So yeah, that's the best way I like to put it is choosing someone to go through life with.
Yep.
That's it.
Look at it this way, fellas. You guys like to make a lot of mess.
Who is y'all?
You know what I mean? So
Who is y'all?
you got a female that can help you out, clean up your mess.
Oh, you're talking to the guys.
Yeah, I'm talking to the fellas.
You're talking to the fellas.
I'm talking to the
Okay,
fellas. You
I
know
let
what I
you
mean?
talk to the fellas.
Yeah. That's one plus. It's not necessarily mean that you treat your woman as like
Your
she's
mother.
a at home at home mother or at home wife or at home girlfriend. It's like you still have to try to pick up your own weight too, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe, I think we've touched on this before in the past, where it's like it's supposed to be. Let me not say the word equal, because obviously there's different like levels or different circumstances in a relationship that can make it not be like exactly 50-50. But I think it should be balanced.
yeah.
That's the main word I can think of is balance. So
I think overall you just got to understand that each person have their own strength in what they do.
yeah,
So,
we touched on that last week where I was like, you're your own person at the end of the day. And you're just coming together to unite as one entity to go through life. So you always have to go back to I'm my own person. I have my own, like the way I was raised, the way I grew up, my own goals. But then now I'm trying to merge with this person to see if we can even be better together. Like I'm good on my own, but I can be better with this person. So choosing, it's very important to like choose the right person to go through life with, not just settling like we touched on last week,
yep.
but almost like interviewing each other.
Yeah.
It's a series of like interviews to decide, are we compatible enough to do this long term? I mean, like I said at the beginning, there's different type of relationship. If you guys agree that it's just platonic or sexual or whatever, hey, you guys agree to that. But you have to have that like interview, those conversations to decide if this is something what I want and what you want, and then come together to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that the problem that comes with that is that so I know we talked about the goods, but trying to come to a middle ground, and what I'm trying to say is that most men are more cleaner or more OCD than most females are, and most females are more OCD than males.
Debatable.
Man, that is the truth, though. It's
That's
the truth.
I mean, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It could be. It's not just the cleaning of it. It starts way at, are you compatible? First of all, because you can have two messy people in a relationship.
True, but too messy doesn't mean that they both gonna be clean.
That's loud each
So that doesn't work that way.
But yeah, it's just creating that unit to go through life. So let's take it back to us. How did we start off that unit?
I think at the beginning, like Shamoya has always been the neat freak. You know,
Not really.
Yeah, you have.
I learned a lot.
No.
I grew a lot to where I'm at now in terms of like, the way I see it is like we got thrown into living together and we had to figure it out. Like, and I remember when we started out, I didn't want to step on toes with Mike and his mess. He wasn't messy, but it was like not wanting to like move his stuff or
Yeah. So if I have a little corner like I do now, you know, I tend to like to keep everything where it is because I know where everything is at. She likes to come over there and move things around, and I'm looking like, where's this at? Oh, I don't know. I it was up there. No, I left it right where it was supposed to be at, and that's where it was supposed to be at, so I can go back and get it. Nope. She moves it, and then she forgets where she even moves it. Like, you're the one who moved it. What do you mean? You're the one cleaning my area, you know? So,
and there's some compromise in there too, because I feel like, let's say you move in with a guy, he likes to put his dirty clothes on the floor. Like, figure out a system that will kind of make it easier. And we have a good system now because we have that laundry basket.
Better.
Yeah, we have that laundry basket that is like split up, and he knows which side is the dark, which one is the light. Every now and then, there's a light in the dark or a dark in the light.
Look, man, okay, when you see blue, I'm thinking blue is like in the dark side because it's
what
dark
shade
blue.
of blue though? Is it this blue or your blue? That's dark. This is light. So, but yeah, you have moments like that. But to me, it's like 95% of the time it's right, or 97% of the time he does it right. So it's like, I'm not gonna be mad that the one time I just shake my head and keep it pushing when I see that one light color in the wrong basket. But that was a system we did when we not early, but we liked it and it worked. So there's compromise, but it balances out. Like, the good is way better than, or way more frequent than the bad.
True. And realistically, it's all part of the process, being able to build from the bottom together.
You're sharing,
you know? And being adventurous about things. You know, building from the bottom, meaning like starting from the bottom. Like, literally, like when we first started, we were living together with my auntie. So we were literally like, we were sharing, it was pretty much like roommates all together. You know what I mean? And our story was, you know, once we left our aunt, we're like, okay, well, we need to find somewhere else to go because the atmosphere is not working out for both of us anymore. So we went to my parents' house. We stayed there for like maybe 2 months.
It was probably 4 or so. We made a goal. We set a goal, and we're like,
we set a goal. We're like, look,
summer.
let's just save up some money so we can go ahead and get our own little apartment. And then that's where we started. We got the apartment, and we just kept moving up. And once we came out here to Nevada, we're like, we're not moving into an apartment. We're not moving into a trailer.
Thanks to him, because I was like scared to get a house, like buy a house. It was such a big like goal. Commitment and the process, and I didn't know enough about it, so I was scared to like buy a house. But he was the one who was like, we set a goal, let's do this. See, that's where the other person comes in, because
that's the whole purpose.
By myself, I would have been like, And it worked out for us so good because we bought it pre-COVID, and
Yep.
then thankfully, because I don't know if we could afford it right now.
Nope.
But what I was going to say earlier, oh, I was going to say that when we say start from the bottom, it's not always saying that, oh, you're supposed to always like pick somebody who doesn't have anything. That's not what we're saying, because
No.
I know a lot of people, especially like right now, if I was 34, single, have my life together, have my place, I've built something. Like I have furniture for myself, I have the job that I have, and everything else. I wouldn't want to start with somebody who doesn't have nothing. And I know it sucks to say that, but I know a lot of people think that way too. And that's why they're like, we want security, we want that in our relationship. And I get it, because if you're not bringing anything to the table, and I'm already owning the table.
Yeah.
You gotta bring something to the table. Like
Yep.
it's hard, and I get that. It's hard to just pick somebody and take them in and do everything for them. Like, so we got lucky in our circumstance too. We were 19 starting out doing it. I was able to do it together.
Yep.
But if I was 34 right now, you better bring something to the table.
And she doesn't mean plates and eating utensils either. FYI.
Maybe even that. You gotta bring something. You gotta bring something to the table, but
Yeah. So
yeah, it's really good to have somebody just to go through life with.
Yep. So again, pushing each other
Oh yeah,
to the next level, being able to help each other. Like for me, for example, me and Shamoya met in McDonald's, like she mentioned in the first video. FYI, if you didn't see the first video, we'll go ahead and
watch
put it
it.
up the top, so you can go and watch that. She put me on the spot. I did
Yeah, I
not
did.
stalk that girl. Anyways, so we started at McDonald's, and I told her like I wanted to be like at first I wanted to be a police officer, and so my first step I thought would be to become a security guard, but that job was not nothing close to what police officers would be doing. Maybe just incident reports, but still. Anyways,
But you start and you
but
set
yeah,
a realistic goal.
yep.
You
And
know,
so I pretty much started like
started at the
climbing the
bottom. Yeah.
ladder. And so I went from security to corrections, which I'm still in right now. I never went to a cop because of the circumstances at the time, but that
Yeah.
could be for another episode. So it was the same thing with her. I told her, I was like, you don't want to be at McDonald's for the rest of your life. Being a manager wasn't something.
I was never even supposed to be there 5 years.
I never saw her staying at McDonald's for
Uh-uh.
so long, especially when she was going to school for meds. You know what
Yeah,
I mean, like med school.
I did not want to stay
And
there.
so she found another position or another opportunity to go and work for at the reservation as a dispatcher, and now she's a great dispatcher.
Okay. You still need to come do that sit along. See what I do. Do what I do. But when we say push each other, I remember I don't remember how much we did as him as a security guard. I don't remember too much of that time. But I remember corrections and helping him study.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know nothing
Yep.
about what he doing. But I was quizzing him. I was sitting there with him and doing all the things to get him to pass that test. And we did it again when you got your CDL a couple years ago. Same thing. I was learning all them nuts and bolts.
Not the nuts and bolts.
All the nuts and bolts of that bus so he could, know the parts to take the test. So that's where it comes in with just like pushing each other to be like, and I'm the type of person too who is like always second guessing, self-sabotaging. Mm-hmm. So I'm always indecisive with certain big decisions, even small ones. What camera to get? I don't know. That's where he come in. When I'm frustrated with my content creation and all the things, editing, shooting a campaign, like all those things, even work.
It's always good to have that second person next to you.
To bounce that off of.
Sometimes I'm big on antisocial. Like I don't, outside of my house or talking to Shamoya or talking to my friends, I don't like meeting new people, and that's something I need to get out of. Like I need to break through it, and for her, I feel like she's I think she developed that whole antisocial from me. I don't know.
Probably.
She probably did, but when she comes to me, she bounces
I've
ideas from
always been
me.
shy though.
I'll be able to actually talk to her through it and try to help her pretty much see a different way of doing things. Like especially with all her content lately, with all the promotions that she's been doing and all that stuff. So it's like it's good. It's good to be
Oh
able to
yeah,
have that person next to
definitely.
you because they can actually give you
Yeah,
another
because
perspective.
once you leave, especially once you leave your parents' house, it's like you don't have anybody like that. Yes, you can call your mom and dad, but certain things you don't want to talk to them about, or they don't understand that thing you're doing. So that's where your partner comes in, or even like you don't have the friends to really bounce that idea of.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I have friends, technically, I feel like at the same time I don't have friends
Yep.
to talk to about certain things because one, they're not gonna understand anything about one, the content creation I'm doing
Yep.
or the job that I'm doing. So it's good to have someone on a day to day like Mike who knows the job a little bit about it or, from what I tell him who can actually listen and give me feedback, Someone who just understand what you're going through.
Somewhat. Sometimes I listen. Sometimes I
Yeah,
don't.
so I'm like, are you even hearing the words coming out of my mouth? Like, can I get your undivided attention? Like,
She be catching me
I want you
like,
to look in my eyes while I tell you how my day was.
mind you, I am trying to grow my own business, and she be catching me in the middle of me trying to like think about things that's going on, and I'm trying to, you know what I mean, like build up to it, and then
Yeah, multitask.
I'm trying to journal and stuff. She over here just like, oh, what you think of this? Huh? So were you not paying attention? And she gets upset. It's like,
Yeah, I need your
how are you getting
undivided
me? Okay,
attention.
well, talk to me and ask me, hey, babe, can I talk to you about something real quick? And then I could be like,
Look, a girl
give
need a
me,
vent.
give me 2 more minutes, and I got you, and I'll finish doing whatever. Might
Even
even
them
be
2 minutes
less.
be long.
Might be less. I ain't gonna lie,
Them
might be
two
less. But
minutes be long.
for the most part, yeah, it's
Them
ridiculous.
two
Like,
minutes
come
be
on, man.
long, man. I be like, can I say what I need to say now?
You see,
Hello?
and that's where the authentic chemistry comes into play because being able to have that chemistry with each other and building that chemistry is always great because one, he or she would know like the other partner. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, I
So it's
learned
like
when
it's
he's
great.
on that thing. Most of the time, I don't even talk to him when he's on that game. I must really be upset
And
about
like,
something to bring it up while you're focused
and
over
even
there.
lately, I've been so bored of even playing video games. And I'm just like, I'm just on the computer just to be on there. I don't want to sit in front of the TV or I don't want to sit on the couch, so I just sit in front of my
I'm
computer.
telling you, reading.
I gotta get in the mood to read,
You just gotta
man.
find something. It doesn't have to be reading, but it's always good to like switch it up.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah, switch it up. What else you got over there?
I think with the authentic chemistry also comes with the ups and downs of each other. You know, build coming up from there, understanding people's feelings and
Oh
each
yeah,
other. You know, obviously you may not know them completely. You may think you know them, but
you're
you really don't
constantly
know them,
learning too.
and that just grows over time.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been together for what 12 years now, and still I learn everything
yeah,
something
you're
every
learning
week, every
something.
day. I learn something new.
What you learn today?
Today, not much. The day ain't over. Okay, the day ain't over.
Yeah, okay.
FYI, the day ain't over yet. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you have to be open to everything. Open to compromising,
Yep.
open to sharing your space with somebody, open to sharing your thoughts with somebody.
And compromising doesn't necessarily mean you need to change your whole
No,
ways.
that's the whole point.
It's like trying to like you gotta give to get, if that makes any sense. Like
Oh yeah.
you gotta be able to actually give something in order for you to get something in
Like, do I
return.
love
You know
him
what I
being on
mean?
the video game? No.
Hell no.
But
It
I'd
gives us
rather him be
space.
on the video game than in the club
Or in the street.
or in the streets. So that's a
Because
compromise.
I'm not for the streets.
That's a compromise. Let him
Yeah.
play his video game.
Yep. And
You know?
that's the biggest thing. Like I get it. If you're a female who is very, very successful and you got your things going and the guy wants to sit in front of his PlayStation and play video games and you're not
Like he's
used to
not
it,
working or nothing, then
he
that'd be a
or yeah,
problem.
if he's not working or he's not generating any kind of income to help you out or help or vice versa. If the
Yeah.
female is just not contributing and she just likes to use up your money for to go out or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, that's wrong. Like if you want to go out together as a team and have a date, then fine. You know what I mean? And even then, like for me and Shamoy, we still split bills down the middle.
Oh yeah. It
When it
balanced
comes
out some way.
when it comes down to like going down to Vegas, like tomorrow, for example. By the way, I paid $70 of gas this week. Just saying.
Sound like a person around me.
No, I'm just saying that means that you're gonna have to pick up some of the bills tomorrow.
Oh. But I paid $10 for the pumpkin
Man,
pie.
that's just $10, man. We still got lunch to eat.
But yeah, we always
so
balance
things.
it out.
Yeah.
If he puts gas, I'm paying for lunch. If he pays for lunch, I'm paying for something. Like
Yep.
it's gonna balance out. That's why I said I get it if the circumstance is one make way more than the other or something. It's not gonna be split 50-50.
Yeah.
But it has to be balanced. You have to bring something to the table again.
Yep.
Like you have to do something. Like it can't always be that one person doing everything because that's where what's the word I'm looking for? You start like just feeling a certain way about that person now and it start affecting the chemistry. It start affecting how you communicate. It start affecting how you guys talk to each other because now the person looks down on you for the things you don't do. So it's like, yeah, it has to be balanced somewhere. We believe in balance.
Yeah.
A lot. So.
And all that ties into being able to have a support system. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys are supporting each other for whatever the case may be. Like her, she wants to be the content creator and an influencer for her social media and people out there.
And I had to learn that a lot of it is my dream and my thing that I want to do, so I have to figure it out. But so I learned to like not depend on him for everything for it. Like I used to be like, oh, I need to take these pictures. Come help me take them. Now I just do it and I'll go to him and be like, which one do you like? Like, give me some feedback on these that I took and what would you change? Like I had to learn to not just depend on him because I'm scared to take that leap. And now I just go to him for that feedback, or sometimes I don't even tell him anything. I just show him the result of
realistically,
what I posted later.
And the reason why I do that is because I want you to be able to actually come up with.
I know, and it was frustrating
like
at first.
Imagination of things because
I
want you to work on that. That's your weak point. I
had to learn that. I definitely
because
had to
I for me, I'm not that great at being able to like be creative with a lot of things. So I can help you out with certain things where I think might look good or I think may be good, but
it's not, at the end of the day it's not the vision that I have either. So then it's like, so I rather go to you after. And even with your stuff, like even though I don't know what you're doing, I still would go and be like, how did it go today? Like what, how is it going? And he'll spit stuff out. Yeah, do. I'm like, yeah, that's French, but good job, baby. You got this.
Yep. And that's great, man. I love it. I'm glad
Keep going.
I'm glad she's supportive because like the business that I'm trying to grow, not a lot of people or couples would actually support the other
one. As long as
you're
not emptying the bank account,
no,
we good.
Everything that I do is just like things that I've saved up for it, or something that I'm rationally like thinking about it. Like, is this the right call, the right move, whatever the case may be? But I never will sit there and be like, oh, I'm just gonna empty out my bank account and go all in. Like I've seen and heard a lot of stories about this. So it's because I wouldn't want her to go through that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want her to go
a lot
through
of time people. That's the other thing about people forget they're in a relationship, and it's two people, so they'll make big decisions without talking to the other person. Yeah. You can't do that. Like if it's gonna affect the other person or affect the relationship, you have to like talk about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you have to communicate when it comes to decisions that could affect. There's a possibility you could lose all the money. Why would you not say something? They don't want to say something because they know it's a bad decision or a risky decision, but it's like, it's going to affect the two people. Like you have to think of the other person outside of yourself. That's one of the biggest things. Yeah. Well,
I think that's all I had.
That's it.
That was pretty much it. And I think I think we had
Let
more
me see
bads to
what.
talk about last week than we did this week.
Right? Is there not more good? There's a lot of good.
So talk
I
about them
think we
then.
just touched on it quickly. Sense of security. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I mentioned it.
You mentioned
That was at the
security.
beginning.
What does security mean to you in a
Being able to,
relationship?
for me, like just having that, the sense of a partnership next to me, like pretty much have my
Someone you
back.
come home to?
Yeah, somebody I come home to, and I know that I'm coming home to, and yeah. Look, man, it's just.
Speechless.
Can you imagine? Like for me, I couldn't do it. Like a lot of people will sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I can be by myself and I can come home by myself." Not me, man. Not me.
Can
I
you
would drive
imagine the
myself
right?
nuts.
We're already bored as it is.
Yeah, like I would be doing all kinds of extravagance if you was not around. Like I would sit there and just find other things to do because being home by myself is
Especially like you mentioned,
crazy.
like we're already like I'm already shy. I've been shy my whole life.
Hmm.
And meeting new people is like not not my thing or whatever. Like there's so much I want to do right now, but the thought of doing it by myself is just like, yeah, okay. So even like tomorrow we're going to a pumpkin patch. I would not go by myself. There's no way I would go by myself. I barely want to go to a coffee shop by myself. It feels so weird to go on solo dates. Like they're necessary, they're really good for you, but it's hard. So it's like having someone who I'm like, look, I want to go to a pumpkin patch, and he's like, okay, you just go along with what what I want to do.
I know why she wants me to go.
Why?
You don't know where you're going. That's why.
That's one thing. What are the good of being in a relationship? You're a passenger princess like me, and you have a designated driver.
A professional designated driver.
Yeah, let's put the professional in front of it because I'm a CDO, I'm professional.
Why you putting me out like
but,
that?
but look, I ain't complaining. I would passenger princess all day. Now, it do give me a heart attack every now and then. But yeah, I enjoy. Plus, the other bonus, he's going to help me take pictures and videos tomorrow.
Yep. I already
Like,
know.
I'm going for the vibes. He's there as the driver to get there and the person to help me get all the content that I need.
That's crazy.
Hey, I'm sure there's going to be something you want me to do for you. Something.
We'll see.
So we balance it out.
Because she's probably going to end up I mean, it's already been told. She's using me tomorrow.
We use each other.
How? Tell me
You
how
get the
I'm going to
vibes.
use you
You
tomorrow.
enjoy the vibes. You enjoy the vibes of the pumpkin patch.
Sure.
Have you ever been to a pumpkin patch?
Never.
See?
Never.
Make your dreams come true.
That is that is not my dream. It's not. It's not my dream to just go, oh, that's my bucket list. I want to go to a pumpkin patch.
It's something you've never done and you're doing it with your partner.
It's not a dream though.
It's the dreams that you didn't know you have till you had a partner.
Oh my God. She just literally made all that up.
But yeah, there's a lot of good.
There's definitely a lot of good, and we would like to hear what you guys think. Like, what is your good of being in a relationship? Like, what is the benefits of being in a relationship? I want you guys to go ahead and comment down below.
Again, I think why people don't see the good is because, again, it goes back to my first point, is not vetting that person right equally to see that you match. And a lot of time people think, one, the person will either change, which they can, but if they want to change those bad habits, they can. Don't think you can change a person. That's number one. Don't ignore the things that you're not compatible on, like the big things.
The signs.
The big red flags. Don't ignore those. If you do find that you can mesh well together, then you'll compromise on the little things. Like the little things won't matter as much. But if you ignore the big things, that's where the problem is. So that's where a lot of people feel like it's all bad, it's all bad, it's all bad. Because they ignore the things that they didn't ask the right questions to know before they move. They always say live together before you get married or whatever, so you can really see if you're compatible. And I think that's true. Because you'll see the things that you're like, yeah, I'm okay with him leaving one pants on the floor. Like, you'll see the things, how he acts in the morning, how he acts at night, what he does during the day. Like, you need those things so you can see if there's something you can do forever.
Yeah.
So it's like 14 years in. Do you think you can do this forever?
Yeah. Shit, I'm already halfway there.
Halfway there. Oh,
you never know, you know? It's like Candace Owens said. Candace actually in one of her episodes, she was like, she married the person she married because of their IQ. They were able to challenge her to get better, and I think that's what a lot of people would need is somebody who's gonna challenge you. It's not somebody.
you need that.
It's not somebody who's just gonna be relaxed and just be like,
No,
oh yeah, whatever
let
you
you
want
do
to do,
whatever.
babe.
Yeah.
Like that's not how are you gonna develop as
How
a
you gonna
person
know your true potential?
as a self person to actually sit there and build your own brand or build your own life or whatever the case may be.
And it doesn't mean that you become this people pleaser, because that's where people become like, oh, I lost myself in the relationship because you became a people pleaser. You just felt like, oh, I'm married to this man and I gotta do everything he says and everything for him and everything. No, I'm not your slave.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we signed up for. So it's like they become this people pleaser, doing everything for that person, ignoring everything for themselves. And now that's when they're like, oh, I lost myself in the relationship. I have to rediscover who I am. I know who I am.
Yeah.
I make time for myself. I prioritize my self-care. He knows that.
Very much so.
You have to, because if not, last night. What happened last night?
Where'd you go to last night?
Right here.
What were you doing right here?
Reading.
Exactly. Why you couldn't just come to bed and read?
Self-care.
I'm like, man, where the heck is this girl go?
Sleep,
man.
while I try to finish this book. Okay?
Man.
That's a balanced relationship right there. I don't want to disturb him. He has to get his sleep. I knew he was going to try to wake up, work out, work on your little business. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you. Okay? But yeah.
It was like literally 15 minutes after I realized you weren't even coming. I just went ahead and put on that mask and just went to sleep.
He's like, she ain't coming. But
I look out the room and I look at the light. It's like,
I will try to make up for it now. I'll try to put you to sleep then. Then I'll come read. Okay? That's a compromise. That's a compromise right there. Make sure he goes to sleep, then I can get up and come read. Deal, right?
Why you putting me like I'm a little kid? She's trying to rock me to sleep. Like, what the heck? What in the world?
Hey.
No, but I'm happy that the person that Shamoya has become.
Have you seen
reading
the growth?
books? Yes, I have. Definitely. Now I have to put in the effort again.
There you go. You're constantly
to get into. We're
gonna
have to talk about that. Yeah,
this new era.
We're gonna have to make
crisis.
an episode about that. Make sure your grandma doesn't see it either.
Oh God. I'm scared.
But we definitely gonna have to.
Yeah, you're constantly learning and growing.
A few episodes.
Learning and growing.
Yep.
That's it.
So if you guys did like the video, don't forget to like the video.
What? If you guys didn't like the video, don't forget to like the video. What?
There's a thumbs up right below. If you didn't like it, let us know you didn't like it. Give us a thumbs down. I don't care.
We're just chatting. That's all.
It's all engagement.
Yep.
Comment down below. Tell us what you think. Give us your input. Let us know. Spotify, same thing, man. You can comment down below. We'll see the comments after.
Do you want to give them a sneak peek?
Of what?
That we'll have a special guest soon.
Oh yeah, next week.
Hopefully everything goes smoothly.
Hopefully everything works out.
Our first guest.
We'll have our first guest. We'll have a friend of mine. Him and his wife will be coming on to the show to talk about what we're going to be talking about next week. So we'll put it all together where the bads and the goods, and then next week's episode will be about relationship reboot. How do you reboot in your relationship if it goes?
Which is good
because if it gets to a point where you're just like bored or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
It would be nice to hear their input too because they have kids. So
Yep.
it's like, how do you reboot after having kids?
Yep.
Because I know a lot of people struggle with that. So
Yep.
that'd be good. So
I just have to,
be sure to come back and
for
see
sure.
what we're talking
Don't
about.
forget to come back next week, Sunday, so you can go ahead and see the next episode and hear us out if you're hearing from Spotify.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, see y'all.